This is the Intex 32 FTX 16 FTX 52 in Ultra XTR rectangular pool, and I've lived with it through 4 seasons. I bought the full set with the steel frame, liner, sand filter pump, ladder, ground cloth and cover, and later added an Intex saltwater system and a solar cover roller. From my experience, this is as close as I've gotten to an in-ground feel without ripping up the yard or paying contractor prices. I'll start with size because that's what sold me. At 32 by 16 feet and 52 inches deep, it feels like a real swim, not a splash tub. I can do short laps, push off the wall and get a little cardio in. It's perfect for families, for people who like to float with a drink after work, and for anyone who wants enough space that multiple people aren't bumping elbows. The rectangular shape also makes it easy to use a robotic vacuum or manual vacuum because you can run straight lines without fighting curves. Key features that matter to me are the frame, the liner, and the filtration. The Ultra XTR frame is heavy-duty steel with powder coating. In my opinion, that coating is what kept mine looking clean after a winter outside. I leveled the area, set pavers under each leg for stability, laid the ground cloth, and the frame locked together with spring pins. The liner is thick and feels tougher than the cheaper blue pools I've owned. It sits snugly once the water weight pulls it into shape. The sand filter pump is the backbone of water clarity. Here's the quick explanation if you're new. Instead of a disposable paper cartridge, you have a tank filled with special sand. Water gets pushed through the sand bed, which traps fine debris. When the pressure gauge climbs, you backwash. Basically reverse the flow to flush out the gunk, then rinse and go back to filter mode. It takes a few minutes and saves a lot on consumables. With my schedule, I run the pump around 8 hours a day in peak summer and less in spring and fall. The water stays crystal clear with minimal fuss. I also paired mine with an Intex saltwater system. Simple version. You add a measured amount of pool salt, and the unit uses a cell to convert that salt into chlorine. You still get sanitation, but without handling tablets every week. From my experience, the water feels gentler on skin and swimsuits, and there's less of that strong chemical smell. I still test pH and chlorine with strips, keep it in range, and shock occasionally after a big swim day or storm. Setup was straightforward, but not something to rush. I measured twice, made sure the ground was level, and had 2 people for the frame and liner. The most time-consuming part was filling. It's a lot of water, so expect many hours with the hose. The included ladder is sturdy for daily use, and I like that the steps are grippy when wet. The ground cloth adds a bit of protection under the liner, and the cover keeps leaves out. Later, I added a solar cover roller. That's just a bubble-style cover that sits on the water and traps heat from the sun. On mild days, it bumps the temperature a few degrees by afternoon, which makes a noticeable difference. Daily use has been a highlight. The pool is quiet when the pump is running, and background noise is minimal once you're on the far side. Skimming the surface with a net in the evening keeps maintenance light. I've had no rust on the frame, no sagging legs, and the liner welds look the same as the day I set it up. I left the pool up through winter. I lowered the water below the returns, covered it tight, and secured the frame. It came out of winter without drama. That said, you still need to follow your climate's winterizing steps. A few things I wish I had known. You really do want a flat pad. Even a small slope can throw off water level and put stress on one side. Take your time on ground prep. It's not glamorous, but it's the difference between easy ownership and constant tweaks. Also, consider the footprint for the equipment. The pump and any add-ons need a safe power source and space to breathe. If you're using the salt system, start with clean, balanced water, then add the correct amount of salt so the cell can do its job right away. In my opinion, the value is strong. The whole experience is cleaner and more stable than smaller temporary pools I've tried. The rectangular shape maximizes usable space and makes it easier to swim straight, which I appreciate more than I expected. It's perfect for weekend hangouts, a quick morning dip, and getting kids comfortable in the water. I also like that it's not a permanent build. If I ever move, I can take it apart and go. From my experience, maintenance is easier than it looks from the outside. Backwashing takes minutes, Testing water is simple with strips, and vacuuming once a week keeps the bottom spotless. If I see cloudiness after a big pool party, I run the pump longer and it clears up. The cover stops most debris, and the roller makes it easy to pull the solar cover on and off with 2 people. The only hiccup I've had was wind catching the cover during a storm. Extra straps solved that. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants a large, reliable above-ground pool with a sturdy frame and low-maintenance filtration. If you have the space and can commit to a level base, the experience comes very close to a permanent install without the cost. It's also great for folks who prefer a softer feel to the water with a saltwater system, or who want to keep chemicals simple with a sand filter and basic test routine. In conclusion, the Intex 32 FTX 16 FTX 52 in Ultra XTR rectangular pool has been a standout in my backyard. It looks good, holds up to weather, and delivers clear water with minimal hassle. I get a legit swim, the family gets room to play, and I don't spend every weekend fixing something. If you're considering a big above-ground setup, this has earned my trust over a full year of use. Please check the comments section for detailed information about the Intex 32 FTX 16 FTX 52 in Ultra XTR rectangular pool. Thank you for watching.